Okay, in today's tutorial, I'm gonna teach you how to reveal with masks in After Effects. So first, I'm gonna import my logo here. I'm gonna adjust the scale. And we have to make a mask for this layer. So we can make a reveal animation. So to make a mask, we have a lot of options. One option is with the pen tool. If we grab the pen tool, we can just simply drag the mask we want, and we can make it any shape we want. The other options are with the shapes. So you can select here the rectangle shape. If you want, you can make this a square by holding Shift, and now it's a square. And you have another shapes here. Also the ellipse tool, you can make a circle by holding Shift, and by holding Control. And by holding Control, you can make this grow from the center. And with Shift, it will be a circle. So now, to make this simple, select the rectangle tool, and let's make a rectangle covering our logo. So you can move these individual points and press G to move this, or you can select the selection tool with P. And to move this, you will see we moved the entire mask. So we have to deselect this because now they are all the points selected. So to deselect one point, hold Shift and click. And now you will see it will have this stroke. It will not have fill anymore. So now we can drag and move this individually. Or if we grab this line, we can move these 2 points at the same time. I'm gonna move this here, and now I'm gonna grab this and move it like here. Also move this here. Okay. We can animate this mask. If you see here, I'm gonna close this. Here, if you open your layer, you have these mask properties. If you open it, you will have your mask. If you open your mask, you have these properties to change the mask. So you can add or increase or decrease a feather. So I'm gonna do that right now. So if we increase the feather, you will see the edges are like smoother. So for now, I'm gonna set this to 0. The opacity, well, is the opacity of the mask. And the mask expansion, I'm just gonna move this and you will see what it does. It's basically how big or small is the mask. So I'm gonna leave that as normal. We are going to change just the mask path. So make a keyframe here for the mask path. And now if we move forward in the timeline and move this and change the mask path, you will see if I grab this and move it like here, and also move this here, you will see it will automatically animate. There you have it. So to make a quick reveal from the bottom to the top, First, let's grab this first keyframe we made and let's move this forward because this will be the keyframe. It will end the animation, so it will end here. And it will start. We can also move this whole mask in another way. If we double click in the mask, in any mask point, you will see now we have this like white grid, and we can move this, like a transform, and we can squish this. We can make it bigger, smaller. So I'm gonna make this really small like here, and we can also move this whole mask by holding shift. You keep it in line, and now we have this animation. So we can improve this animation. First, let's grab both keyframes and ease them with F9. Now grab the last keyframe. Okay, now we have this is a little smoother, but at the end we want to have a slowdown. So grab the last keyframe, go to the graph editor, and you will have this handle that you can move like in one side or another side. We are going to move this to this side, and we will have this speed curve. So what this means, from this point it will start really slow. As you see here, the graph is really low, and here at its peak it will be the fastest. So in this point it will move, you can see here, 4 units per second, and then it will slow down. So here it will move 0.1 units per second. And now let's preview the animation. And you can see this is better, more natural. Also, I'm gonna move this a little to the top here. And to make this even better, we can enable the motion blur. So you can see here these 3 circles. If you don't see that, you have to press here in toggle switches until you see this, and make sure in this point this icon is enabled. So now you can see here it have like a little blur, a motion blur. Also make this animation faster by moving the keyframes close together. And we have this pre-descent reveal. So we can also make this mask work in the other way around. If we click here this inverted option, and now what this does is whatever is outside the mask is visible. I'm referring to this layer because this mask is applied to this layer. And when the mask touches this the logo, it will disappear. You can see it there until it covers the logo completely. So this could be like a disappear. You can select this option inverts, or you can just select here instead of add, subtract. So that means everything inside this mask, it will be subtracted. We can also make another mask in this same layer. So now let's grab the pen tool with G, and let's drag a small mask like this inside this other mask. We can move it however we want. And as you see, because this mask is in Substract and this to add, we can still see this part because of this second mask. And you can see here the animation, but this part doesn't disappear. So we can play with that feature there. We can also move this entire mask if we animate the mask path and move it like forward. You can see the mask path keyframes, the properties, by pressing M, and you can see there just the mask path. Let's double click this mask and let's move it like over here. This is these keyframes with F9, and let's see. And you can see there you can make a lot of animation with these little masks. So for now we're going to delete this. We don't need that. And let's keep this to in add. So you can see there we can make a lot of reveals. I'm gonna make another one. I'm gonna create a solid layer with Ctrl Y. And I'm gonna call this solid. I'm gonna make this color orange. And we can also make like transitions. So for example, I have this solid mask. And let me see here. Okay. And let's grab the pen tool. So I'm gonna make a mask in this solid layer, the same shape of my logo. So I'm gonna hide this a little bit to drag a mask. So I'm gonna drag the mask like something like this, like the same shape of my logo. Make sure the solid layer is still selected. And now we can show the solid layer. And here you can see we have the solid layer in this shape. And now go to, if you press M 2 times, you can see all the mask properties. So press M 2 times. And here I'm gonna select this to Substract. So I want this to go from really small to really big. So make sure this is to Substract and make a keyframe here at the beginning. No, make a keyframe here to mask path. Grab this mask by double clicking in it. And make this really big by holding Shift and Ctrl. Like this. And now go to the beginning here. Grab the whole mask with double click, Ctrl Shift, and make this really small. And even smaller. Hit enter. And now add a motion blur to make this animation smoother. And now we can preview this transition. Okay, now it's a kinda choppy animation. So we're going to fix the timing. So select both keyframe, is this time with F9. And we need to make this move faster at the beginning and slower at the end. So let's make the same graph. Go to the graph editor, select the last keyframe, and move this handle over here. And now we will have this animation. I'm gonna make this faster. And also, let me adjust here the the lines because they are not straight. You can use the ruler by pressing Ctrl R, and you have this to make sure the lines are completely straight. So go here to the end and let's straighten these lines. This line and this line. Like this. And you can move it out of the screen. And now let's see the animation. So there we have a quick transition here. And a reveal for our logo. I'm gonna move this layer to take more time. So first we have this transition. And here it will start the animation. There you have it. And also we can even change the shape of this mask that is revealing this logo. So we can add another point with the pen tool, press G. And now if you go here to the line, you will see that the pen tool have a plus icon. Hit click and you will add another point you can move. So here at the end, I want this mask to be something like this. And now if you see in the animation, it changes. And also at the beginning, I want this to be something like this. So at the beginning it's like this, and at the end it's like this. So now the animation will be like this. I'm gonna make this faster also. And also let's change the speed graph here. Go to the graph editor for the mask of the logo. And I want this to start slow and also end slow. So I'm gonna make both keyframes in the graph editor like this. So this have a influence of 60 and this the same. Now let's see. I'm gonna make this to last more time and change this. I want this to take longer at the end. And even longer. Okay, that's cool for me. I'm gonna trim the work area with N, so now it will only last this 2 seconds. And that's all for today's tutorial. So I hope you learned something new today. You can subscribe, leave a like if you want. And you can download this project file in the description down below, and I'll see you in